You are not alone, Mithrandir. Ilialithon, Imdulithon. One of the biggest reasons for us to include Dol Guldur is very simply Gandalf's story.
You're not leaving us.
I would not do this unless I had to.
In the book, he goes off on an urgent errand to confront a force that we know pretty much nothing about. And he doesn't make a reappearance in this story until the Battle of the Five Armies. But in terms of filmic storytelling, it's just like the worst tease you could ever do. You're going to follow him. You're going to know why he's left them.
Dol Guldur has a mighty presence in the film. Everything's at its limits. Can't go any further, can't get any more dangerous, can't get any more dark, can't get any more violent. Does it smell in here?
It's not too bad. I mean, somebody had something rotten for breakfast this morning, but apart from that...
That doesn't mean to say that there isn't a light-heartedness on the set.
Dol Guldur is like the wolf's lair of the bad guys, and for a period of time in the second movie, Gandalf is like a detective going in there by himself and snooping around. In doing that, he discovers the character of Thrain. You'll come down to here, and that's when you stop and see the little figure racing across the background there.
One of the added layers of complication was just, you know, the number of variations that you had for a lot of characters.
Okay, who'd like to be in this shot? Hands up. Are you the one who says words? Can you just give us a word or two? Just so It is. It's the one that says words. It's good. Excellent. Welcome to the set.
The most complicated one was definitely Thrain.
We shot with Anthony Sher as Thrain, and he's one of the most amazing sort of Shakespearean stage actors that Britain has.
From nowhere they will come.
Finished?
Yeah.
What do you mean, nowhere?
And then the other one.
No, what do you mean, nowhere? Oh, Thrain, you make no sense.
And we also had a young Thrain, an old Thrain. Kieran played a Thrain double. One of the stunties played a Thrain double.
I think at the end, we didn't really know who was who because there's so many prosthetics.
What we're doing, first of all, Mark, is a... Mark, it's not Mike, is it?
No, it's Mark.
No, so it's not Kieran? No.
No, definitely not.
No, okay.
Well, I got confused going, all right, who is it today? You know, looking at the call sheet.
If anything, just leave the arms almost static. I mean, not static, but just here, just not this. Yeah, so you don't feel this sort of rhythm. It sort of feels off kilter. All right, dude, break it in. Sometimes you get about a 10-second rehearsal like this. And it's like, that's all you get.
So, hey, Terry.
Almost stay down low.
Don't forget he's a hunchback.
Yeah, so you're... Keep it real
Hunchback.
down, real low.
Oh, and then, Ian, when you come down the bottom, if you hear a sound behind you and turn and look... It's scary, isn't it?
Leaping dwarf. That's not what I enjoy doing. I don't like fighting.
Can we have some pairs of clean underpants for Ian standing by?
I'd rather just be talking to another character rather than fighting him.
Good. So this is the third Thrain we've worked with today.
It's been Thrainful.
It has been Thrainful. So you watch the monitor?
Yeah, I do.
You know what's going on. Where have you put that finger, Karen?
These films would not have been possible without Kieran Shah. Who? Well, Kieran Shah is a man who is much smaller than most of us, and that's to his advantage because he can play very small people.
I love working with Ian. I think I got close to him from The Rings, where I had to work with him a lot more than what I'd done on The Hobbit.
Most of Lord of the Rings, I didn't act with Elijah Wood. I acted with Kieran Shah, who was his small-scale double, wearing Elijah's mask.
What sort of mouth movement have you got, Kieran? Ooh.
I've been Bilbo's scale double. All we got here is Martin's face coming on.
Shit.
I've never seen that.
Get out of the way, sorry.
Just show a little more emotion, Kieran, if you wouldn't mind. You know, just sort of feel it.
Such a straight face.
Yeah. Oh, for God's sake, man, smile once in a while.
I did scribe the goblin.
Shall we put his head on?
Hey, Kieran.
Hiya.
Having fun?
Yeah, I'm having fun. I did a burning kid in Deltown. In the background, in the foreground. So it's been fun.
This is outrageous. Pete tells me they're replacing me with somebody.
Heck me.
Come on, let's have a sword off. Somebody give me some white knives. No, you've got to see how fast you can spin it. All right. Oh, man, he's making me look so bad. I hand it over to you. I'm done.
But the other characters, they all come out of the blue, including Thrain.
So, in fact, we were lovers for years and years. You may be a love child.
Shall we?
So what you can do, rather than drag them out, you can pick them up and dump them down.
Easy, buddy. 9 years of professional wrestling.
Sounds fair. B marker. 3, 2, 1, go!
And up you go. And cut. Cut the camera.
I'm going to put a pin in this to hold that there, and then I'm going to, do that, yeah.
Hi, Bubby.
Mum, where's the scary man?
The scary man's on set, monkey.
But I want to see him last.
I don't know that you want to see him, darling.
Yes, I do, Mum.
He's been eating small creatures and his beard's covered in blood.
I do want to see him.
Well, I saw the Dol Guldur set through the eyes of my sons.
Is he on set now?
So that did him in. That was his first Halloween experience.
Probably his last.
They found it really scary. It took them a long time to actually step up onto it, for starters. They wanted to go and touch the spikes and the bits to make sure. And then once they realised that that was all made incredibly scary by the art department, but was in fact soft, they felt a lot better.
Somebody's been having a barbecue. Probably illegal.
I think it was 2 weeks that the Aussies came in. In came the Elven King, Hugo Weaving. And in came Cate Blanchett, Galadriel.
You want to basically end up just standing on top of that little staircase over there, because that staircase continues going up to where Gandalf is. So this is you heading towards Gandalf.
B marker.
In the book, she goes to Dol Guldur really only to expel the Necromancer, but what Peter really wanted to enhance was that she goes in to expel the Necromancer, yes, but she also goes in to save Gandalf.
But it involved Kate carrying a relatively light representation of me, a dummy.
We've got a Gandalf dummy that's travelling, which isn't to be here after lunch, but so that's for carrying him. But
I mean, you're only using him in white goods, right?
well, it depends on whichever one gives us a better performance, darling. I mean, that's who we go with.
Just come in alongside. There we go.
You know, if you close your eyes here and look like the dummy. Okay, there we go. This could be a new stage routine, couldn't it? You shall not pass. You shall not pass.
Shall not pass.
He looked a little bit like Michael Gambon. So Ian and I would call him Michael.
He plays Dumbledore in Harry Potter, and he and I are sometimes, not to say often, mistaken for each other.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Morning, Mike.
Now.
He's actually on the call sheet as Mike Gambon.
Why wouldn't he be? He's played as big a role in the scene as you. Of course he has to have his own name on the call sheet.
I asked him one day after his play he was in London, I said, do you ever get mistaken for me? Because I often get mistaken for him. Oh, he said, all the time. I said, what do you do? He said, oh, I just sign your name. So he'll be pleased to know that he was in The Hobbit, even though only by name, and he plays a dummy.
Marker.
Because we did some of the shots with a dummy first, because, you know, obviously Ian's in such demand, having to do various different things, we had to establish something with the dummy before Ian had a chance to do it. So I think it was a bit of a low moment for Sir Ian when I told him that that the dummy actually did it better.
It's okay, Ian. Don't be sad.
And he had to sort of match what the dummy had done.
So you just have to be up in the crook of Kate's arm there, Ian.
With a bit more.
Go on.
Oh, big baby.
Big baby.
It was a bit cheeky, but he gracefully did it. But he did it better in the end. Marginally.
Is that desperately uncomfortable for you? It is a bit. You can give it your knee. Yeah.
We talked a lot about the way we should sit, because obviously a lot of the battle rages around them, and Peter really wanted to create a sense of cradling a higher spirit.
I remember the first time I saw the Pietà in Rome with the Madonna holding Christ, and it was so sorrowful, so sad, and yet so protective. It's the mother, isn't it? It's the protective female spirit that we wanted to embody.
As long as it doesn't say Mother of God and Jesus Christ.
You just have to shift the iconography a bit.
Just a titch, just a...
Okay. But anyway, if you still want to lie down, Ian.
Where the potty is.
Where the hottie is, you can get a nice warm neck. Kate is the Madonna, but Ian's not Jesus. By any stretch. So we're all right. I don't think that Ian and Kate had ever worked together. I mean, even on Lord of the Rings and the Fellowship, you know, Gandalf had died just before Galadriel comes into the story. So they didn't have any scenes together. So this was the first time.
And cut.
We get on very well together, and there's an emotional connection based on mutual trust and admiration for each other. So observers might think, ooh, what's going on there between Galadriel and Gandalf?
It's not hard to be flirtatious with Ian.
I guess you could call it a special chemistry. Other people would call it snogging. They seemed to sort of fall in love with each other almost instantaneously, and it was hard sometimes to prise them apart to shoot scenes.
Okay, all right. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay.
Ian's a wicked man, and I like a little bit of wickedness.
The money shot. Oh, yeah, no, hang on. Yeah, that's the one.
I sort of fell in love with Kate, really. I think perhaps almost my favourite scene in all the films is that little one that of Galadriel and Gandalf.
You are not alone.
Exchanging rather soupy looks. They clearly like each other enormously.
Perhaps in another life, if only wizards and elves could procreate. There's another movie, Peter. The Secret Life of Galadriel and Gandalf.
That's the last photograph before the camera gets smashed.
We knew once we decided that we were going to draw upon the story of Dol Guldur that we're dealing with Sauron. Therefore, his greatest servants, the Nine, were going to come into play.
Oh, the ring rates are very tough evil dudes. Very sleepy evil dudes today.
9 kings of men.
Yeah, very sleepy. Wake up, evil dudes.
These ring wraiths are kind of indestructible. I thought it would be great if both Elrond and Saruman, they knock wraiths off into these chasms. And then I thought it would be good where the race come scrambling back up the cliffs, like in a superhuman kind of way, and they come leaping back up into the fight.
It's tremendous. I've never seen anything like it. If people ask me if I did it all, I should say, of course. Easy. I had to be quite honest and say, I did not. My age, that might be a little difficult.
Christopher is 90, 92, 93, I think. It was certainly 90 when we were shooting.
It was going to be way too big a ask to put him on a plane to fly him all the way back to New Zealand.
So what we did several months later is we shot Christopher largely against green screen in London and Pinewood. So we got the wrong stick. Just come up with swap.
Oh, I thought you were going to...
Except because this one is not worth as much as that one. This one, you'd sell, this is cheap, that's expensive.
That's the source.
Now, Sauron...
I think several years ago.
That's right. Sauron is the yellow tennis ball up there, yellow and blue. Christopher got to play Saruman at a time when he wasn't evil in the way, and corrupted in the way that he obviously is in The Lord of the Rings.
I said, well, that's fantastic. That's absolutely wonderful. He's Saruman, the white, the noble, the decent. He's fighting on the side of the angels. Are you in need of assistance, my lady?
It's great, and really give it all you've got.
I'll fall over if I do that.
Here we go. Okay, very tense. Looking at them, very tense. 3, 2, 1, go! Ah! Great. Good, thank you. We've got that.
Excellent.
At the end of it, when they've got rid of the ring wraiths, the last thing I say, leave Sauron to me. And he means it.
I think as a Tolkien scholar and someone that cares deeply about these books, I think he was just very happy to be able to at least portray Saruman before he fell into darkness. It allowed him to kind of complete that cycle with the character.
My basis for accepting a part is always the same. It's not a question of how long it is, how much is going to be on the screen. If it means something in the story, and it's what the director wants.
So you're using the staff in the hand like so. Yep, perfect.
And the audience remembers it. That's what it's all about.
And I'm not doing funny finger things out the top of your head. No, I'm not. I'm being very respectful.
It's as simple as that, to be seen and to be remembered.
What I thought would be good is if Elrond is kneeling down, you know, you've sort of crouched down there, you're looking up at the thing, and then suddenly she rises up beside you. It's like, holy shit, it's like you just rise into frame in this whole different look.
You are nameless, faceless, formless. Go back to the... Portaloo, what is it?
Tolkien describes every now and again an elf lord revealed in wrath. So we see that in Galadriel and Dol Guldur when she transforms and becomes this thing of intense power and pretty dangerous and scary. And in some ways thematically similar to the way that she goes dark when Frodo offers her the One Ring in the Fellowship of the Ring.
In place of a Dark Lord, you would have a queen!
You're expelling this guy, and the last sort of energy goes, and then there's a flash of light, and suddenly we've got the white Galadriel again just standing there, kind of about to go, and you would rush forward and catch her. There we go. Off to Lothlorien together. Bye.
Peter referred to sort of the eventual look as the drowned Galadriel. So it's almost like she was an underwater spirit.
The darkness there has infected her, and she takes on some of the power and the qualities of the place in some way. And I did a drawing of how that might look on her and how it has seeped into her clothing and how it's sort of pulling her down. And fortunately, they loved it.
And I also thought it'd be good when you rise up at the beginning, you're rising up and then present like, bring it up as a weapon. You can just follow her. She's doing all the hard work and you can be doing them. Come on, mate, come on.
All right, we'll shoot then.
All right, easy.
B marker.
It was the most memorable scene. It will forever be engraved in my mind. My wife and I, we were like little mice in the corner of the stage, and extraordinary performance. We had shivers up and down our spines.
You have no power here, servant of Morgoth. You are nameless, faceless, formless. Go back
to the void from whence you came!
Big flash!
I'm totally at a loss for words to describe how magnificent it sounded and looked, and the realization that actors, yes, they are special people.
Nonetheless, he must be hunted down and spanked. Spanked thoroughly.
From out of the darkness, a necromancer has come.
The Necromancer is talked of as being this sort of dark witch, this force rising in the east, this evil entity.
And his voice comes from the abyss. It's barely there, it's disembodied, and yet it has to be powerful and chilling and evil.
Srag glistun na kizish agbogash obsidan.
With Benedict, one of the things that struck us immediately was his ability vocally was extraordinary.
Ashna strabaduluk, ashna stradaduluk, ashna krimbadul.
And very early on, we made the decision he would only ever speak in black speech, which is the language of Mordor.
There is something very guttural, visceral, really ugly about it. And Tolkien really knew what he was doing when he was writing that stuff, because it's a language of struggle. It's very gritty, and then there are these wonderfully poetic moments as well, where it's like breath, and then in come the consonants again with all the anger.
It's not the sort of language that lends itself to sweetness.
No.
It's like I can never quite believe anyone being romantic and they're speaking German. It kind of doesn't really work, does it?
We broke down the different sounds and the rhythm of the speech and the kinds of qualities of the speech itself and wrote the whole thing out for him phonetically.
Letha was fantastic with black speech, and she's ridiculously enthusiastic about it. So, you kind of, if you please that teacher, it's a great day. She literally sort of runs over the room and just launches herself at you, which I can take.
There was this extraordinary moment where Benedict and Peter were talking about how would we play with this vocally, what would we explore, and Peter said, why don't we record you speaking the black speech in reverse?
You'll do your lines backwards, but we'll go forward in that order.
And then we'll play it forward. So it's got that strange kind of, that amazing sort of quality. And this was on the Friday, and we were recording all of this on the Monday, and Benedict turned to me and said, can we do that? And I, of course, said, yes, of course we can do that.
So then Benedict actually did the black speech backwards. I mean, I find that absolutely gobsmacking.
If it built to a crescendo, I would start with that crescendo and then work backwards to something, more sort of neutral as a starting point.
Yeah, we'll just cut that and do a replay.
And the Academy Award for Black Speech goes to...
It's really interesting. It's definitely weird in reverse.
The boy's a genius.
It's kind of creepy, in a nursery rhyme. And the lamb went to sleep, the devil is here. It does feel a little bit like playing with voodoo or black magic. You kind of go, and afterwards go and speak, the Queen's English and have a cup of tea.
There we go.
Oh, the beard. I'm stuck on his head. Last shot, Kate only solo, wind blowing.
I was going up the stairs, I was trying not to trip, I remember that.
Sorry.
It's a big thing for me, trying not to trip. Peter had created these blasts of air and said that it was like throwing beams of electricity or light out to remove things from my path.
Just get out of my way, is that sort of feel?
When in doubt, throw another scary creature in the heroine's path.
And keep walking, even with that last one. Just take that last step up, you know, just so you're really powering on. You're not stopping, really. And action. Great, let's just do one last one for luck. That's great, keep rolling. With each throw, get more contemptuous, Kate. More dismissive.
Alrighty, here we go.
When I finished my little brief stint on The Lord of the Rings the first time, I thought, wow, that was incredible and what an amazing experience. And that, you know, they were obviously going to go and film on for another 18 months. And I didn't have a sense of the consequence of it ending.
And action.
That's lovely. OK, great, Kate, we got that.
So this time, I wasn't going to let that go.
Finito!
No, thank you so much.
You didn't find it big enough.
Very good. Here's a couple of...
Should I open them now?
Absolutely. That's been fantastic, Kate.
Oh my goodness! It's adamant. Oh, look. That's beautiful. Ah. There's nothing in it.
No, well, we should have put some Chanel No. 5 in it. That's right.
Thank you.
That's right.
That's absolutely beautiful.
And there's your bloody chair.
Just to prove I was...
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much, Kate. It's an absolute pleasure. Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's been a privilege being back in Middle-earth.
I feel more Galadriel coming on already. Yeah.
Look,
all right.
I'll come back as anyone.
Yes, the show's not over yet.
So I'm still hoping that there'll be some sort of form of reshoot, although I'm hoping against hope. You know, I'd have Galadriel walking through the back of battle. I'll put the frock on any time. But I couldn't accept that that was going to be it. But maybe it is.
Get the crew on stage.
Hey, thank you very much, sir.
At the very end of Block 1, just before we go on to a hiatus, there was a big surprise.
We have a special ceremony to perform. Zane, you might like to introduce.
Zane and Jamie started spending a lot of time in Zane's office with the door closed. And there wouldn't be any yelling, which normally when Jamie's in Zane's office, there's yelling.
I think we kind of freaked out the production office a little bit because we were having these, can only be described as clandestine meetings.
Finally, I cornered Jamie and asked him what was going on because I was very suspicious. And he revealed to me that he was working on a secret project.
We're starting this. This is just a prototype model, but this will come into play for blocks 2 and 3.
This is small. This is starting small, but this will escalate into something you cannot believe.
It's something so big you can't possibly comprehend this.
So we came up with this idea of Wiener's Wacky Wheel of Wonder.
Unveil, please.
Don't break it. Get them out.
All right.
This was a traditional spinning wheel, and in the middle of it had a picture of him behind the door of a washing machine.
The detail was beyond belief, really. So, at the end of shooting on Friday, whoever's name is drawn out of the tin basically gets to spin the wheel.
All kinds of nice prizes. There's some not so nice prizes. You win anywhere from $20 to $1,000. You could be a loser. Oh, that was Get your own chair back. You could have a night with Kieran.
Don't tell anyone. Now you just told the world.
You can have a dinner at my house. You could win a box of Rara. Wow. That ran the entire gamut. And there is also Hold Eric's Balls.
Are you Eric? I got to do that. I got to hold Eric's balls. I travelled 12,000 miles to hold Eric's balls.
And this was the beauty of the wheel, was it wasn't just one person that got a chance to spin. It was basically dependent on the mood Zane was in. And some nights it went for like 10 people having spins, and he'd just be giving away prize after prize after prize.
It's getting really hot in here.
He was always very excited when he didn't have to give anything away.
And it was just great prizes, a great little boost of morale at the end of a Friday before going into the weekend.
These prizes will change as we go on, and it's all going to be a lot of fun. Hope you all come back for it.
Hey, well, thank you very much, everybody, for a great first block. Have a great break, everyone's having a break, and we will see you back here soon enough.